Hello, hello. Welcome to week 2 of Geography 100. Hopefully all of y'all are starting to settle into the flow of the class and not feeling too overwhelmed with the readings and such. So a quick little check-in video on where we're at, where we're headed. The big thing is this week you'll be learning about environmental justice, which is the topic for our final project. So I wanted to share what that assignment looks like. Make sure you can see my face. All right, cool. So I already have the environmental justice topic project posted to your Canvas, along with the lecture slides for that specific portion. You'll notice that the readings are from Canvas. Our textbook doesn't go into environmental justice specifically, although there are things that apply to it. So this is your final for the class, is an environmental justice topic of your choice. And your first topic proposal is going to be due next week, the 25th. And so, I'm assuming most of you are not super familiar with this yet. You'll see that in the lecture slides. But what the goal of this is, you're going to pick a topic. I have some suggestions. You also can pick something else that you're interested in. You're going to be doing research on how humans and the environment are interacting, how they're impacting each other. You're going to make some maps. And then you're going to create a project in a way that you best feel comfortable with. Some people are great writers, some people are great artists, some people, we all have different talents. And you're going to use both written and visual elements to then share out your research on this topic with your colleagues. Okay, so the first step is to choose a topic, right? So this will be due next week, but this will give you some time to start thinking about it. What I usually say for folks when picking a topic is you can pick something that you want to learn more about. So maybe in our readings on environmental justice in the on Canvas, there was something mentioned that you want to learn more about, or maybe it's something that we don't cover, and you're like, wow, I wish that we had gotten to this. I want to learn more about it. It could be something that personally impacts you. So maybe you or your family or your ancestors have been impacted by an environmental justice topic. For those of you who are taking multiple classes, it could be something that connects to another class. So I'm speaking especially to our history majors, our environmental studies majors, a lot of our poli-sci majors, ethnic studies majors. We here at Skyline College, the folks in social sciences work together very closely. And so I often have students who are taking a history class or a poli-sci class or even an economics class and find ways to make this project also meet both classes, which I'm fine with. Check with the other faculty member, but most Skyline College faculty, we are able to work together in that way. Especially if you're thinking of doing this um, long term, it's a great way to knock out two classes with one project that fulfills both needs. And I have lots of students do that. That's pretty common. Okay, so here's just some of the popular ones that I hear from folks. Let's see if I can zoom in somehow. Zoom. There we go. Um, so here, the water crisis in Flint, Michigan is one of the most popular topics that I see in this class. It's also pretty recent. All of you have lived through it, unless you are 5 years old, in which case I am very impressed at your college attendance. So that's something very recent that you can talk about. The 30-meter telescope in Mauna Kea is still ongoing. If you want to do something that's very local, you can do air quality around the Port of Oakland in California. You could do the nuclear waste cleanup at Hunters Point Shipyard in San Francisco. You could do redlining. You could do food deserts in San Francisco. Foster City is falling into the ocean. Pacifica is falling into the ocean. Lots of the bay is falling into the ocean, right? If you want to do those international topics, so you can think about the installation and removal of dams. I have the example here of the Belo Monte in Brazil, but there are dams all over the world. I'm thinking of the Aswan High Dam, I'm thinking of Three Gorges Dam. We have the Shasta Dam right here in California. E-waste disposal in China is very, very popular. You also get something that's historic. It doesn't have to be recent. It could be something that's resolved, quote unquote. So nuclear testing in the Pacific Islands is very popular. You could do the testing on the Tuskegee Airmen. There's lots of things you can do. Again, pick what works best for you. If I had a colleague once say that picking your thesis topic is like picking a prom date. It's very nerve-wracking. Once you get over with, it's fine. So at the end of the day, if you don't know what to write about, you only have to do this for another month and then you're done. So just rip the band-aid off, right? But I'm happy to help you brainstorm if you are a lot of you have talked about your syllabus contract, like what you're kind of hoping to get out of this class. I'm happy to help you pick something that will best fulfill what you're hoping to get out of this class. Okay, so what's due on Thursday the 25th is just your proposal. So I want to know what topic you're writing about, like where is it happening, who's impacted. You have the option of doing this project either independently or in a group, maximum of 4. It is totally up to you. Everyone in the class gets the same grade, so choose your class, choose your group wisely. But yeah, if you're taking this class with a friend and you want to work together, or if you really want to work on salamine testing in the 1950s, but you want to work on it with a buddy, you can post that. There's a discussion board where you can post, hey, who wants to work on salamine testing? Probably not a lot of folks, but you never know. But yeah, so it's up to you. Again, some people love group work, some people hate it. This is meant to be a low stress, satisfying endeavor, not a stressful one. Okay, so that's what's due on the 25th, and as well as 3 sources, not Wikipedia, and not AI, right? This is a no AI project. And then when you start to actually work on the final project, these are some of the questions, the prompts I want you to thinking about. And then the share out is you need to have at least one written element, at least one visual element, and you need to fully address the questions in the prompt. Okay. There's a lot of liberty and leeway for you. For some of you, that's good. For some of you, that's terrifying. We can work that together. This rubric, scroll down, is exactly how you'll be graded. I know a couple of you have taken classes before. I see a lot of names that are familiar, so you know I'm a rubric kind of person. This is exactly what will be in Canvas, exactly what will be marked up, right? And so if you're working your project and you're like, I don't know if I'm doing enough, go back and look at the rubric and do you answer where and when is this happening? Do you answer what human impacts are involved? So that's how you get those points. Because if you never talk about, government and legal actions, then I can't give you the points, right? Um, and then for the visual element and the written element, everyone shares information and creates knowledge differently, right? It's what your strength is. Some people love writing essays, some people hate it. Those are both legit, right? So what I've done is you pick a format that works best for you as long as it meets this requirement. Okay. So in the past, I've had folks make posters. You could make, because this is an online class, I have some digital templates I can give you. So you can make a digital poster, you can make a website, you could do a PowerPoint. Because it's an online class, I'd want you to record yourself doing the presentation. Basically, this were an in-person class. On the last day of class, we all get together and eat popcorn and watch each other's presentations. Since it's online, you have to like do a recording of it, right? I am Oscar College, so if you make like an amazing sculpture and you want to give it to me, like I'm here for that, right? That's fine. But if you're not in the Bay Area, then what you do has to be able to be turned in digitally, right? I've had people do sculptures, I've had people do paintings, I've had people do interpretive dances, I've had people write plays, I've had people do music videos and poems, right? Again, how do you communicate your information, right? So you could do an essay, you could do a description of an art piece, right? You could do a song with a music video. The big thing is it has to answer these questions. So if you write a really cool poem that's beautiful and makes me cry, but answers none of these questions, then you get 0 points. Well, you'll get 2. You'll get 2 because you'll have the written element, right? So whatever you do, make sure you're incorporating this rubric. What a lot of folks will do is they'll create the art piece that brings them joy. So the dance piece, the music video, the poetry, whatever it is, and then they'll have an additional little write-up to knock out the rest of those points. That's pretty common. Okay. So your project for now is to focus on what is your topic, right? So you have a week and a half to pick your topic. I'm happy to help you pick something, right? And then think about if you want to work in groups or individually, and then just kind of start brainstorming how you want to share that out. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. I hope that helps. Exam two or exam one is going to be due a week from today. Today is Monday the 15th. Well, I'm recording this on Monday the 15th. So exam one is due 22nd. There'll be a separate video for that. I do exams a bit different in this class. But yeah, I hope you're doing well. Email me if you need anything. Take care. Bye.